What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Wan Man Show, the number one fight podcast in Singapore, because we are the only fight podcast in Singapore. I am the man. That is the one. And as you can see, we're practicing social distancing today because of everything that's going on. But that's not stopping us. We're still going on because I know everyone stuck at home wants to listen to us. Shamelessly, yes. Today we have none other than... Introduce yourself, bro.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm Jia Wei. Used to be Wan's teammate on the national team. We fought together in the national team for a while. We've known each other for a long time, and good to be here. It feels a little bit weird without the couch.
Nice to have Chow here, but sorry, he's the first one in the show that has
not have the couch.
Yeah, he doesn't have the couch.
Hey, but who knows, in the future when everything goes back to normal, we'll have the couch and we might have you back.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I hope so.
Hopefully. It just feels weird, guys, but this is something that we have to do for you guys, especially. We know the podcast is very important to some people. So yeah, Jia Wei, welcome to the show. Let's start off with I think this is something that you said off air. Everybody has fought Ridhwan before. So you have fought Ridhwan before.
Yes, we did. Despite the size difference, as you can see at this moment.
Yeah, you are a lot bigger than he is right now.
Yeah, right now, yes, I am.
So tell us when that happened and how it went on for you.
Well, I think that was in 2013, right?
Oh, you remember the year?
I think that was in 2013 because I remember when I fought Ridhwan.
It was the Nationals, I think.
Yeah.
It was at the school. St. Andrews.
Oh, right, yeah. So he actually fought twice. He fought myself, and he fought Junhao the next day in the finals.
Day?
No, 2 days.
Okay.
Within 2 days, yeah. I think that was my 6th or 7th fight. Yeah, I was pretty new back then. Mm-hmm. So fighting Ridhwan, such a big name in the boxing industry in Singapore, boxing scene in Singapore. Yeah, it was a big pressure for me, and of course it was something that daunted me back then. I was still very raw in the sport. Yeah, but then again, it was a great opportunity for me to see where my skills were at back then.
I think the fight is on YouTube though, so if you search it properly, you can find it.
Somewhere. Shit, yeah.
Okay, so what happened during the fight?
I think he went up 1 weight category. You're fighting lightweight, right, back then.
Mm-hmm.
I was fighting light welterweight 64. So he went up. So at that point of time, I was already bigger than him. But it was a good fight. Before the fight, I thought that, I'm fighting Ridhwan. Shit, he's gonna hit like a truck. I'm gonna feel it. So I was feeling kind of scared. I'm not lying. I won't lie. But during the fight itself, I could feel the size difference. Like weight categories do make a difference. Like he punches hard. Like he still punches hard. He's always punched hard. But I felt that he wasn't able to really like hurt me as bad as bigger guys. But at the same time, he has the ring experience, of course, back then. Yeah. So I lost. Long story short.
But if you guys were to fight now,
makes no sense, man.
We're starting off really spicy today.
You have to pay first, then we will say.
Yeah.
I think for my version of the story was at that point of time I wasn't doing very well in terms of my health. In terms of I had a really bad back injury. That was after SEA Games. Then I really had a really bad back injury. I haven't been training or sparring or fighting for a long time. Then I went to the Nationals. There wasn't anybody at 60 kilograms. Everybody ran away. So I went out, fight 64 kilos, and Jia Wei and Junhao were the upcoming ones. They were from the same gym under Arvin. So I've seen the boys. As much as he said he was new, I know he wasn't that new. He's got potential to win, I know. So I went into the fight. I wasn't myself. I couldn't fight as hard as I want to.
Excuses.
Whatever. Haters. Yeah. Then I think he knew halfway through the fight he can win, and he tried to go for the win. But I just really relied on fight experience. I think there was one time where I just punched the air and then I just fell down. I think whether it's against you or Jun, I couldn't remember.
Mabuk bro.
Because I felt something snap in my back. Yeah, but I think I did enough to win lah. Yeah, it was, but it shouldn't be a close fight. I mean, it was a very close fight. He gave me a good fight. I think the fact that people thought, Ridhwan is a big name, Ridhwan should have won easily, and the fact that I didn't, people just automatically think that I should have lost that fight.
Nah, they shouldn't think that way
and
because he was fighting me.
Yeah, and
it's different.
And there are people in the audience I know, even from my own gym, they say, Ridhwan didn't fight a good fight. Which is true, I didn't fight a good fight, but I still won. I know Arvin wasn't happy. Arvin felt he was robbed. I mean, there were no hard feelings. I just recalling back stories.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just need to say, I've never seen Arvin happy before.
Just part of the game.
He was just very angry. And then he said something. I couldn't remember, but it wasn't. He said something like, it wasn't something very, I wouldn't say nice. It wasn't something that I want to hear lah. I remember he said that his boy should have won, and it was an unfair decision. And then I think I remember I carried it to the next fight in the finals against Junhao. After I win, I think I went up to him and shook his hand and said, "That one I really win, right?" Then he was just But then the next day he put it on Facebook, something a long post about it. But we are friends lah. We were all just growing up back then.
So, now grown up already not?
Now grown up, grown big, everything.
Sideways.
So it was quite an experience fighting Jia Wei. And I know he was gonna be a problem.
Would you say that he was the toughest person you fought in the amateur ranks in Singapore?
Yeah, yes. One of the difficult ones. Him and Junhao have always been difficult opponents.
Congrats, bro.
I'm very honored.
I mean,
I wasn't expecting that.
Did we spar before that? I think we did.
Before the fight?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No?
We only sparred after 2014s, 15s, and following years. Yeah, but it was a good fight. Yeah, I can never leave. I still have the video in my laptop somewhere. I downloaded and saved the video because you never know. He might become a world champion one day. I'm like, look guys, I fought with a world champion and we went to the distance and it was a good fight. It was a close fight.
I have a mission for all the Ridhwan haters out there. Go and find the video and then just spam the comments saying that Jia Wei should have won. I will be commenting myself because haters are going to hate, and we need things to hate in times of peril like this. And our hate for Ridhwan will keep us together. So let's do it, guys.
Hate and unite.
Yeah. And in addition to what he said about the whole drama thing that happened during the fight, if Arvin, you're watching this,
I'm sure he's listening.
There's no hard feelings.
Yeah,
we all know you, Arvin. We all know you. You are just a big teddy bear. The way you speak doesn't, represent what you feel.
He's a passionate guy, so he really on the spot
he just can't really control what he feels and what comes out from there. Yeah, but I've got to give him credit for bringing me to where I am today as a fighter. You know,
for sure.
Just giving me the opportunities lah. Let me just share one thing. When I first started boxing, because I think it's old story. People know that back then my family wasn't really supportive of me doing boxing, so it was difficult for me to even get to a gym. So when he opened up his own gym at Boat Quay Juggernaut, the first chain, I was actually saving money from my own pocket money just to go to pay for the fees. But after like 1.5 months, Arvin came up to me and said, "You know what? No need to pay, just come." Yeah. And since then, I've never paid a cent to train at Juggernaut. Zero. 2011 till today. Yeah. So it's things that, people don't see, despite the fact that sometimes, I don't agree with what he does, the way he expresses himself, because I think we have quite a different character, but deep down, I understand him emotionally. He's just emotional guy, but
yeah.
What do you have to say? By the way, Arvin is the owner of Juggernaut, and he's also the head coach, right?
Yeah. head coach, the boss, the big man, also the guy behind Singapore Fighting Championships, the guy who gave me the opportunity to fight in the pro ranks also, the pro fights. Yeah, I mean, we've always wanted to bring Arvin in. I think he will be in soon.
We'll bring him in one day.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool that he did what he did for Jia Wei. Yeah, because it reminds me of what you did for me. And how you let me train for free, but I just don't show up.
Yeah. You're an idiot. You waste my money, waste my time.
I got lifetime membership, but I don't use it because I don't like take advantage of friends.
Yeah,
bro.
sure.
That's not the kind of person I am.
Okay,
Right?
move on.
So after you guys fought, you guys eventually became teammates. Which SEA Games was this?
2015 SEA Games.
Was that the Singapore one?
Yeah, Singapore one.
So how did the SEA Games went for you in 2015? Fighting at home.
It was great. You know, my first SEA Games debut. It's in Singapore. You know, with the home crowd and fighting alongside with a big team. You know, we had 6 guys and 4 females, so 10 of us. So it was good. And you know, when it's your first time going onto such a big stage, you get very excited and you feel like, you know, I'm gonna do something. You truly believe in yourself. You know, despite the lack of experience, you know, but I still felt like, you know what, I can do it. You know, it's just a very young thing, you know, when you're very super,
How old
super
are you
ambitious.
back then? Because you're still quite
18,
young now.
19.
You're 18, 19.
I was 18, turning 19.
And you were already 41?
What? I don't know.
Yeah.
So fighting in front of home crowd, you know, it's always a special feeling, right?
It is, yeah.
What did you achieve in 2015 at the SEA Games?
I got silver medal. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to amateur boxing, draws are important. A little bit of luck is important, and of course skills. You know, you need everything really. So in that SEA Games, I was lucky to be able to go straight to the semis. So that was a guaranteed bronze. And won the semis, went to the finals, lost in the finals. Yeah, that's how you get a silver medal. Some of them, you know, they have more boxers in their weight category, so they have to fight more rounds to even get to the semi-finals. Yeah. So like Ridhwan, you fought in the quarters, right?
Yeah, quarters, semis, then out.
Yeah,
So that's your second silver medal, or was that your third silver medal?
Third bronze.
Oh, you got bronze.
Yeah, purposely.
Oh,
Again,
not
every
silver,
episode.
right?
Yeah, I still got a video of him doing pad works with me. Because at that time I had to cut down to 56 kilo. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, everybody
and,
was eating a
and he
freaking
was
watermelon.
and he was
I'm
like
a
coaching
skeleton.
us. He was taking the training, man, at some points
Oh shit.
of the training camp.
Was that Ridhwan?
Yeah.
Oh, really? So you were a coach and also the flag bearer and also...
everything on me. I pakalai all.
I found something interesting on the way here. Actually, I did found this very interesting. I'm going to read you a quote from a newspaper back in 2015.
Wow.
He was touted as the man to end local boxing's 30-year-old gold medal drought at the Southeast Asia Games on home soil. After local bantamweight star Ridhwan Ahmad
Basket
tripped up in his semi-final against Thailand,
Ini Sazali.
the tears flowed freely. The lost man, the Singaporean, was forced to settle for his third SEA Games bronze medal in a row.
Basket.
To put it simply, the 28-year-old was simply outclassed by the
Yeah.
Thai, who is the reigning bantamweight king of the King's Cup. Blah, 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 blah. But moments later, he slumped in a corner of Expo Hall 1, behind the curtains, sobbing away. Voice still quivering, he told the newspaper that it was his worst moment in boxing. The disappointment I am feeling cannot be described.
I'm just laughing at your face
I
reactions
can
right
take
now.
losing, but when I lost out there, I felt like I let my family and friends down.
Nah, not really.
So sad, bro.
Sad bro, sad. Sedih.
So sad, Still get $5,000 what for bronze, what? No? Was it $2,500?
You from what country you from? You don't get money when you are in silver or bronze.
Oh, sorry. Maybe boxing is different.
No,
'Cause-
everywhere. I mean, if you get the money, maybe you get it from your NSA. But the Sports Singapore doesn't give out money to silver and bronze.
Yeah, it's 7.5 or 10K for Silat gold,
Yep, 10K.
5 for silver, and then 2.5 for bronze.
Maybe.
Wow,
So
you
you-
guys get money.
You guys don't?
Nope.
No, we don't. We
Oh,
don't.
I wonder why.
Only if you get gold medal.
Because passion.
So, okay, from 2015, I think you went pro after that.
Yeah, I went pro after that.
You went pro, but you remain an amateur.
Yeah.
Why?
For the next 4 years. Yeah. Why?
It was
Okay,
young,
one-
was it? Like the baby of the team. It's got
I
time.
was, yeah. And then like towards the end, last year, my second SEA Games, I became, I felt like I was one of the seniors in the team because, the older guys, Ridhwan, Junhao, Solihin, and those guys, they all moved on either to professional or they stopped boxing. So I was feeling old for the last couple of years. Yep. I just lost track of your question. What was your question again?
My question was, why did you
Why did I continue?
remain?
In
Yeah.
amateur. Yeah, like he said, I was still young. I felt like if I were to turn pro, right, I wanted to be confident enough of my skills. I wanted to be mentally matured enough when it comes to ring experiences, like dealing with emotions, dealing with fights. I want to go into the ring knowing what I can bring to the table and knowing what's my weakness so I can avoid that. But at that point of time, I was still quite raw in terms of international elite level. So I figured I needed more time to just get more experience. Yeah.
And you went on to represent Singapore last year in the SEA Games.
Yes.
That
last
did
year.
not go as planned.
Nope.
Who do you fight again?
Vietnam.
Oh, damn, Vietnam stuff, man.
So this Vietnamese guy actually fought Solihin in 2015 SEA Games. Yeah.
So this one you fought at 64 kilos?
64. He went up. 4 years. So
Okay.
yeah, he's a pro. He fought Charlie Suarez.
As a pro?
WSB.
Oh, WSB.
Yeah.
He lost?
5-round decision, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
So he's a pro now or pro back then?
he's a pro.
So pro
Pros can fight amateur now.
Yeah,
They're
as long
allowed
as
to fight
as long as
amateur.
you don't have a title, as long as maybe not more than 5 fights, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you can't go for your 4th bronze medal in the SEA Games then?
No.
Make it a record lah, make it 5 lah, bro.
Don't
All
want lah.
bronze only.
I like 3.
So
Yeah, didn't go as planned.
it didn't go as planned.
No. Okay, first, I wasn't intimidated by anyone,
Yeah, for sure. You never have been scared of anybody.
Yeah, so like, I've never put myself in that position where I feel like I'm inferior to another boxer. Yeah, so what went wrong, I think, was a mixture of couple of things. First of all, I guess being alone and training overseas, it's really different when you train with a full team, with your teammates, with a coach that knows you, that you have chemistry with. When you train with a foreign team, right, you start developing chemistry with them, and you start applying their techniques, what they have, what you learn from them, and when you come back here, you don't feel that kind of chemistry with your own coaches or your teammates, because we've never trained together for the last 2 months, 3 months, right? So there's no morale. I would say morale is a very important word. Yeah.
So hang on, backtrack a bit. So you went to train overseas, to where? Was it Taiwan?
Taiwan, yes.
So this was you and Leona, right? Or was it you alone?
No, Leona and I went the first camp. Then I went alone the second camp.
And how long were these camps for?
I think the first one was 2.5 weeks. The second one was 3 weeks-ish. Yeah,
Was it
a little bit less than 2.5?
All by your own expenses?
Yes, but I managed to get sponsors. So very thankful for my sponsors for funding my training camp.
Right. Okay. Before we get into the spicy stuff, I'll let you
Okay.
continue first.
Yeah. Okay, I just cut it short. Yeah. So that fight was, it was okay. You know, I felt like I really could have won. I actually thought that it really depends on how the judges see it, because nowadays in the amateur boxing, judging is very what do you call it?
It's not transparent.
Subjective.
Yeah, subjective.
It's very subjective because first they look at the country you're from.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a country reputation, right, like a good boxing reputation, they would tend to favor you whenever the fight is close. Close. That's just my perspective, my experience, right? Mine. And secondly, also there's no blueprint. There's no a scoring system. You know, like what scores the fight, what entails you to win the fight. If you're aggressive, are you winning the fight? If you're fighting defensively, how are you winning? You know, there's no blueprint. So some fighters, they fight very aggressively. You know, they come forward, they throw punches, a lot of punches. They don't land half of the punches they throw, but they still win the fight just because they come from a reputable country, a boxing country. But some boxers, they fight on their back foot, but they still win the fight. Yeah, so it's very subjective. So that fight, I could have boxed, you know, I could have made it a boring fight because I was taller and I knew I could box if I wanted to. But I know by doing that, I will for sure lose the fight, 100%, because you didn't throw enough punches, whatsoever reason. So I just kept pressing. You know, I threw a little bit more punches. I believe that I landed harder shots also. He might have landed a little bit cleaner, but I threw more punches. So I thought, you know, if that's what they're scoring for the amateur fights these days, aggressiveness, volume, then I'll go for it. But yeah, but it was a split decision, so it could have went either way, really. Yeah.
So, well, that's quite unfortunate, especially after all the training that's gone into it.
It's part of the game. Part of the game.
Do you feel that way about the amateurs?
What do you mean?
The judging part. Is it really that subjective where there's no format?
I believe so, because when I first started, I had the headgear on and there were 4 rounds instead of 3 rounds. So in 1 round is 2 minutes. And every time you score a clean shot, there will be like a point. There will be a screen outside to show that you scored a point. So it's like we know who's winning, who's losing, and what is scoring, what is working at that point of time. I mean, like you said, it's only naturally if the judges were to see like maybe Thailand versus Singapore, the mindset will be there's a high chance Thailand will win, so they were going to be focusing on the Thailand a bit more. So even though it's like when you like someone, you tend to see the good side of the person. I think it applies to the sport. It's the same thing. So it's quite subjective. They said like they want a boxer to win. For a boxer to win, they have to be a little bit more aggressive. They have to show like they want to win the fight, like they want to make the fight happen. That's why they changed it to the professional scoring system. So if you win the round, you get 10 points. If you lose, you get 9 points. If you get knocked down, you get minus 1 more point. So you get like 10, 8, something like that. So it's quite it's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah. And despite the regulations and the rules, you know, if you get knocked down, you get 8 points. The winner gets 10, right? But in some of the scoring that we saw during the SEA Games, it was ridiculous. You know, we had somebody who's knocked down. I mean, home country, right? And end of the round, they got a 9, 10-9. So how is that possible? I mean, it's only possible if he came back strong and he hurt his opponent quite badly. But for that, I don't see how he survived the round. You know, he came back strong. Yeah, I mean, respect to him, but the scoring is just not. It's just not fair. You know, to an extent. Yeah, really too subjective.
Well, I think things got a bit out of hand after you came back from the SEA Games, right?
What happened?
In what ways?
Okay, just to refresh everyone's memory, there was an article that came out,
hands?
Right? Yeah, things might get a bit spicy from here. And you were in the article.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Did you volunteer to be in the article? Did you know the shitstorm that will come out of it?
No. We were approached by the reporter, and we all assumed that he had already spoken to Coach Kale about it before he approached us. And I actually made sure that actually told him to approach Coach Kade first before you publish anything. That's what I told him. Hanuddin was there, So before the interview ended, I told him.
You know what? Face to face.
Face to face.
Or he came to Bedok.
No. He met us outside for coffee, and then we spoke
okay.
about it. Yeah.
Coffee, bro.
Put drugs in the coffee, lah.
Yeah. I think so. Maybe he
Makes
bought.
you expose
Got
everything.
truth syrup
He
inside.
bought us coffee,
Oh yeah, you are eat right off from his palm.
No, but I mean, honestly, from my dialogues in the interview, I was pretty neutral about it. I was just stating what's really happening. I can't have much to say, or I don't want to go against anyone.
Yeah, but I think at this stage, you're not saying anything and being neutral is sort of, I wouldn't say blame. It's sort of pointing the fingers to the association, because it's like saying you don't do anything. Like, okay, what do you think of this? I don't know. Because if they are really doing something, yes, they have been doing this, they've been doing that, they've been doing this, they've been doing that. But it's like, no, you're not sure of an answer. It doesn't really justify whatever that they are doing, I think. If that makes sense.
It doesn't. But at the same time, I don't find myself having that kind of I'm not.
Careful.
Iman, someone told me something about you.
Okay.
They said you're the number one
Shit talker.
shit stirrer
Thank you.
in this business.
Thank you very much.
I shall not say who, but
We all know.
I'll take that as a
Yeah.
compliment. Thank you very much.
but anyway, back to the topic. I
basically,
just said what I had to say.
Yeah, basically you're not the kind. I know you're a person. As a person,
Yeah.
you're not the kind to blame. You don't blame anything, anyone, any association for whatever. So I think you just said it like innocently.
Of
And
course,
I
of
think,
course, things.
and as a media person, if I'm him, I will also try to get things out of it. You know what you would have done. You would try to make it
It would
work
have been
for
worse,
you.
man.
Yeah.
It would have been worse.
you would no, I won't say twist. You would just make it in a way where people will want to read about it.
Yep. I mean, it happened to me once already.
And everybody's reading about it. And everybody's reading about how I cried and whatever crap. We didn't have that conversation, that kind of conversation, like how he wrote about it after I lost.
So I think the most important thing that's coming up from this is, Jia Wei, you need to go back to the person who says I'm the biggest shit stirrer and point it to this guy, because this guy is literally bigger than me.
He's controlling.
Yeah.
Look, let's take a step back, and why don't you tell our audience what exactly you said in the article, if you can remember from it. So we're referring to the article that came out, which targeted underperforming sporting bodies in Singapore, right? Because the SEA Games, last year's SEA Games was one of the worst performance that our country as a whole has done before, if I'm not wrong.
As a whole?
As a whole, I think.
Okay.
So one of the associations that came up is SABA, of course, our Singapore Amateur Boxing Association. And I think that's why you were featured. So share with us what exactly were your words in that article, and what were you talking about in
Actually,
the article?
mine, I think it was just a one-liner.
Yep, more liner.
And it
It's
was
a
about
one-line. I think it was just about me saying,
you went overseas or something, right?
I had to fund my own training, and I didn't want to blame anybody for it, because somewhere along the line, I was just being very neutral. I've got my hands burned before by the media. So I learned my lesson. It was back then in 2015, the SEA Games.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
What
I
happened?
was in the headlines
For
the boxing thing. I was about the whole me going to boxing, about family and stuff like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
so you got the flame from your family.
Well, I wouldn't say flame from them, but it caused a conflict that shouldn't happen. That need to happen in the first place. Like I told the reporter not to mention anything about the family. Just to clarify for those who have read it, because you'll be surprised at some people who actually still look that up. You know, when you go online, they still find they just Google you and then they just find that shit. Oh, sorry. Can I use?
Yeah. Just fuck shit, everything.
No, but they still dig up this stuff, and they're like, oh, I read about you, in the SEA Games 2015. I didn't know that you have such a problem with your family. And I'm like, nah, this is just what the media does. They turn the story, they make it look dramatic, you know, like, your whole family's against you, everyone's against you. No.
Oh, okay, I didn't remember that.
I think
and it was right on the head, like first page of Sunday Times. I can still remember. It was
do you still have the
my brother holding the pets for me.
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
So that caused a lot of friction. Are we talking about the same reporter here?
I don't know. I think so. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. It was this Chinese boy, skinny Chinese boy. But I think he was just an
intern, probably.
Intern, yeah. So I'm not sure who is he working for back then.
Okay, heads up for everybody out there who doesn't know my background, right?
It's not that nobody don't know. They just don't care.
I've been in the whole media thing for 10 years now, and for a good part of 8 years, I was in sports.
How does it feel to be in the scene for so long and nobody cares?
The thing is, my point is, Jia Wei, you're still young, and I hope you're gonna get more media time in the future. But just a tip from me: if you don't want anything to come out, don't say it at all. Even if you say to a reporter, "Hey, can we not have this out?" Don't even say it at all, because everything that you have already said is going to be used as ammunition to them. Look, it's our job.
Yeah,
it's our job to not stir shit. That's my job.
Destroy lives.
But it's that's my job. But it's our job to make things interesting. Because at the end of the day, right? Yeah, you are the subject of my article. See, if I'm a writer, right? You are the subject of my article, right? But my career is in my own hands. So I got to make something out of my career. So if it's at your cost, then okay. A good journalist would do that. That's what a good journalist would do. Once you develop ethics of a normal person, then you're no longer a good journalist, because you tend to want to always be fair about your writing. That won't sell things
I understand.
at all. So, I don't know where we got sidetracked on this, but if you don't want anything to come out, just don't even mention it at all.
Don't say it now. He's gonna stay silent for the rest of the podcast.
No, this is fine. We're stirring shit anyway, so I'm gonna stir some more shit now. And you eventually so after the article, after all the hoo-ha, you decided to walk away from the national team?
From amateur boxing, yes.
From amateur boxing as a whole?
Yep.
How much of it had to do with the bad experience in the national team?
I wouldn't say it's a bad experience. An experience is an experience. You learn from every experience, experiences that you have. I think it's just a small part of it, this, just lack of structure and all that stuff. But I think for the most part, I walked away from the sport because I wanted to. I felt like it was time for me to focus on my own life and to focus on my family. Yeah.
I like how you touch on the other spicy stuff that I was going to talk about. What do you think is wrong with the system right now? The amateur boxing system.
What could have been done better, you think?
Yeah, you're the most recent person to be in it. So we've heard from Danisha and Leona, so we want to hear your side. Like, how would you do things different?
Okay, what could be done better to change the whole boxing system that we have, amateur boxing? I don't think having a foreign coach or going overseas for training camp is that important as having just a proper structure. As you guys know, the boxers here, we're not full-time boxers. So a lot of us, we have to work, we have full-time jobs. So boxing is like a part-time thing. But at the same time, we are expected to perform at an elite level. which many of the other boxers, overseas boxers, they are full-time boxers. They get paid to fight, to go for tournaments and be part of the national team, and they get incentives from winning fights. So I think we need a structure that binds the team together. Like we have a proper schedule. We want you guys to commit to this certain time, certain days of training, and we need to see program for the training. Training, when it comes to training, is not just about going on the backs for 10 rounds, sparring 10 rounds, going for 10 km run. It's not volume. It's very scientific. You've got to know, okay, when are we going for a tournament? Maybe we have a tournament in May. Now is Jan, right? So from now to March, we need to work on strength conditioning. We need to work on more physical stuff, less technical stuff. And then when we are nearing the tournament, we start picking up on the technical aspect, more sparring. And with the technical training, boxing training, we need to have different periodization also. So I think that's important. And also knowing when are the tournaments, upcoming tournaments.
You mean right now they don't even know when the tournaments are?
Oh, no, we don't. We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're touching on the same things that the others also touch.
I've heard the podcast. That's why I'm saying it, because it's already there.
Yeah, I think structure is still the main thing, right? It's not even a house. It doesn't even have a foundation right now. But I think the more interesting thing you touched on is that you don't want a foreign coach. Do you think there's good enough local coach?
No, I mean, it's not that I don't want a foreign coach. I feel that that's not a priority for now. We need to get the structure, and once we get it in, then we see how can we bring a foreign coach in to fit that schedule, because why bring in a foreign coach when we don't even have a schedule yet, we don't even have a structure yet, right? So if he shows up 3 times a week, can all the boxers make it to training? I don't think so, because we all have different work schedules.
So how often do you think a national boxer can make it? I mean, you used to be in the system. What's the frequency of? I mean, we've heard about the athletes wanting this and that, but we have not heard about how much the athletes actually commit.
Because we had one national training session once a week, and for the other days we train at our own respective clubs. Yeah. So if I have a fight coming up, I commit to the training on a weekly basis. Yeah.
Do you think that if the structure is in place and there is like a 3 times a day kind of training, and then maybe towards a tournament it becomes like a 5-day thing, do you think the athletes will commit, the boxers will commit to that?
Nope, unless they are being paid. Because there's no way, how can you commit to a 5-day a week training 2 to 3 times a day without getting paid? Unless you're filthy rich, unless your parents are rich enough to just sponsor you for your whole sporting career. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point, because I'm trying to think about how Silat used to do it, because we were not getting paid to show up 5 times a week. But back then most of us were students, because we started, the structure was there since we were young, right? So that just became a part of what we do all the time. I mean, we have grants that we get like once every 3-4 months, which is like, at most that I can remember that I got was $1,200 for 3 months, which is not a lot.
Yeah, that's fair though. It still covers allowance, transport and stuff.
But
I don't think we are asking for a monthly pay. I think we just need a little bit of support to help us get to training and help get us back home. That's all.
The thing is, it's because there was a structure there from the youth level all the way to the elite level, that by the time an athlete becomes an elite fighter for the national team, he or she would have already won a number of titles or events to earn a salary from the sports council.
I think it goes back to the system, like where can we get the money? I think getting the money shouldn't be a problem if we have the right people to do it. And then if we can create the sense of pride to be in the national team, I think if people don't mind going broke just to go training.
That's true.
I think now the pride is not there. So what if you're a national team boxer? Like, what makes you so different?
But what do you think about this foreign coach idea?
I think it's good in terms of experience, but we don't have enough pool of boxers for him to work with. I mean, like when I was training with Alex or Ray even. I think.
Sorry, who?
Ray.
Oh, Ray.
Yeah, so I think my experience went up quite a lot. I think because we were not able to exactly go to. I wasn't able to go to Philippines a lot of times. I wasn't able to go to Russia, but he brought that training to me. So we work with what we have. I mean, I don't get to spar with the Russian boxers, but the boxers that he trained fights like that kind of style, and carries that kind of teaching, that kind of style. So it sort of broadens your mind. It gets you to think in a different kind of way. I think it can help. It can definitely help.
What about a foreign boxer, a foreign coach, but he's actually a local? Like, I know this Mexican guy, right? But then he's also Singaporean, but he thinks he's Mexican. His name is Kelvin. What? Kelvin what?
Oh, Kelvin Madias. I heard he's moved on to doing MMA now.
Dude, how in the world did they cast you as a Mexican?
I don't know. I only know that I was a Mexican in that shot. I always thought I was just Malay.
Which part of you? No, the funny thing is, on the way to drive here, I was thinking like, I'm gonna get him for this Kelvin thing. Like, which part of him did they think was Chinese? Because I assume Kelvin something is Chinese.
I think people don't
right?
understand what we're talking about. So
yeah, so basically, our
the chosen one has been chosen to appear in the current showing telemovie series Saga 2. So I'm a MMA fighter from Mexico. I only know my name is. I only remember that my name is Kelvin Madias at the last day of shoot. At the face off. Only on that day. Only on that shot. Before that, I thought it was Malay or Pinoy or something.
I have not watched the show, but I was gonna roast you here because I thought that when I saw screenshots of
it doesn't work if you want to roast me. I am roasting myself.
No, to me it was like, why would they cast him as a Chinese guy named Kelvin? Like, which part of him is Chinese? Like, where got Chinese people with that kind of nose? Right? That
you gotta move on with your joke, bro.
Hidung bawang thing, for our viewers who don't know Malay, right?
Boring,
he got onion nose because if you look really closely, right, his nose looks like an onion. Yeah, but now to find out that you're Mexican, that's even worse. Canelo should come here and beat you up.
You guys should just start a new series.
What?
Ridhwan tries.
No. No, like a one-man roast or something.
Or maybe
and
in
you
the
guys should
future.
just start roasting each other.
Yeah, we should do a segment
do
next
like
time. Maybe we got time.
a roasting debate.
Yeah, but I'm too busy, stirring shit.
Yeah, sure.
And one is too busy with haters. Okay,
Yeah.
back. Let's not disrespect the guests.
Yeah, you lah.
But you walk away from amateur boxing.
So we can say that you sort of retired
Yeah, are you retired or
from
I mean,
amateur boxing.
from amateur boxing or from
Yeah.
boxing?
From amateur boxing.
From amateur boxing, yes.
So you and Leona are on the same boat right now.
Yep. And one more reason is because of the new weight category.
Oh yes.
What's this?
There's no more 64 kilograms. So they combine the 60 and the 64 to 63.
Wow, that's a big jump for the
Yes.
60.
So
Yeah.
and there's no way I can make 63 kilograms on a daily basis.
Same, bro.
Yeah, there's no
mentioned
way.
that.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a good idea for me to fight 69 because I lack the height department, so yep. So that's one of the other reasons.
So
why I
you
left.
said you're out of amateur boxing, but not from boxing, which means you might come back.
I might come back,
as a pro, maybe.
Yeah, maybe the option is there.
Are you tempted?
I am. I think about it every day.
What's stopping you?
A few reasons and a few obstacles that I have to get past before that. One is I just wanted to spend a little bit more time with family, because I started boxing when I was 14, so it was during my teenage years. And from then to present, this point, I was always very focused on
Yourself.
training. I was always very focused on boxing. I was always very focused on my own career, my own stuff in general. So I neglected a lot of my relationship aspect with my loved ones. You know, not just family but friends also. Yeah. So I decided to give myself some time. You know, I'm not asking a lot from myself by just giving myself, you know, half a year or even up to a year, I don't know, just to get things settled, you know.
Yeah, I guess as much as the virus thing is affecting a lot of us, it is also a way for you to like detox from boxing, because nothing's
Right.
happening anyway. So you have all the time
Exactly.
now to like
So it's kind of
reprogram.
encouraging me to take a step back and just take it easy, because
forcing
even
you to
if
step back.
even if I wanted to come back, there's no way I'm gonna get a fight within the next. You don't know. It might last a year. It might,
Yeah.
you know.
I think after all this is over, if you want to come back, it only means that you really want to do it. If after
Yeah.
all this is over and you don't want to do it, you still don't feel like it,
Yeah.
you probably don't have it inside.
But you're
Yeah,
training every day
exactly.
though.
I'm working out. I wouldn't say boxing training, but I'm still working out a lot. You know, I'm doing a little bit more weights now recently. You know, training clients. You know, by training clients, in a way you're still getting in touch with your boxing abilities, your senses,
You have
because
to
you
train your
see,
boxing IQ.
Yes, your IQ. You're thinking. You're seeing what's wrong, and then sometimes the best way to learn is to teach somebody. Really, yeah. So you remind themselves to keep their hands up. You know, to keep their punches tight. You know, rotation. And when you start doing that, you will tend to remind yourself as well, and you start developing good habits. I realized actually, personally, my form and my boxing techniques has gotten better after I started coaching and started teaching. You know, even at Steel, even though it's not a boxing gym, but you have to demo, you know, the punches. You have to demo combinations all the time. So that has enabled me to practice on my form. You know, becomes a second nature thing.
How old are you now?
I'm 25. He's 24. Yeah.
Oh wow, you're
Still
still
young.
you're still ways younger, but I think you really think things through by the way that you speak and also what you want to achieve and stuff like that. Where do you think this so-called maturity that I don't see in Ridhwan comes from? Oh, sorry.
Now what? You having hearing problems now?
But seriously, I'm kind of taken aback by this because we've had a lot of guests, but you seem to be very thought out. Is that something that you've always had in you, where you know you're talking about? Oh, I need to spend time with people that I love because I've been spending a lot of time with myself, that kind of thing.
Right. Yes.
It takes maturity and going through a lot of hard shit to go through that for most of the cases that I've known so far. So I want to know what's the gist behind you.
It might be just a part of me. You know, I tend to think a lot. I analyze things a lot. You know, I like to see, and I just like to be observant and think, and also through experiences. You know, everybody has gone through a certain form of hardship, you know, be it emotionally, physically, or you know, family, love, or all that stuff. But I would say the crucial turning point for me to make that particular decision was the passing of my grandmother. She passed away about 3 years ago. Yeah, time flies. Just felt like yesterday. But she was like a mother to me. She raised me. Yeah, we were always together, and she got really sick at some point, and she was sent to the hospital. So through that last 1 month that she was around, I was going back and forth. You know, I was visiting her every day, and we started talking. we started having proper conversations, which we never had before, because I was always boxing, and then she had the misinterpretation that I was out, having fun, and she didn't understand the idea behind me, going to boxing. So I spent time with her, and I realized, these are moments that are so precious that once you lose, you can never get it back. And when she passed on, I realized that, what, I should have spent more time with her. I should have done things different way, in a different way. I should have made things better. So I guess regret is something that's very life changing. The emotion, the feeling, the regretfulness is something that lives with you. Something that you can't change.
Yep.
Let's say I overspend today, right? I spend on some useless shit, right? It's okay. Tomorrow I spend lesser, or I work more, get more money, right? Let's say I spill the cup of water, right? I just mop it up. It's fine. Get one more bottle, right? But when it comes to a life, when you lose it, that's it. There's no money can buy that back, right? So it makes you think, just rethink about life. Is it something seems to be, something doesn't seem to be as important as it seems.
That's a good way to put it, actually. First of all, I'm sorry for your loss.
No, that was
but yeah, I mean, grief is something that changes us, definitely. But let me put it to you this way. You speak about how it's kind of regrettable that you didn't get to spend as much time as you wanted with her. Let's turn it around and also think about this. You've got one life. We've all got one life, and we don't know when our time's up.
Yep.
Especially during times like this. Sorry for this being a downer, but this is truth.
Why are you laughing when you say this?
No, I laugh when I want to get sad. So that's just reflex from grief also. So how about, instead of regret, you look forward to this one life that you have, and the fact that you don't know how much time you have left, and become a pro boxer lah, bro. Come. Don't you want his lifestyle? Look at him.
Calvin Medias.
I mean, you really said I'm wise beyond my years.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I haven't thought of it? Right. I mean, of course, I've thought of it. Right. I mean, we have one life. We have one life, but that doesn't mean we should do things whenever we want to. Like some things needs to happen at the right time.
True.
And I think now it's not the right time. And but with this whole coronavirus thing happening, it's also a reminder for myself and for everyone else that we need to look inwards and spend more time with family and just sort things out within our own circle.
Yep.
Rather than going out. Like, even if I want to go out, even if you want to go out, where can you go? There's nowhere you can go.
Yeah, Legends Fight Spot, I guess. But you have to pay $50 to see Ridhwan's face.
A good deal.
Well, that's, yeah. I mean, I'm just putting it out there because
I agree with you. Yeah.
I think, okay, I'm gonna give you my personal point of view. I've heard a lot about you before I even knew you. One has spoken about you before. Leona has spoken to me about you a lot. Not a lot, but like mentioned. And I think last year I got to watch you fight at Farrer Park.
Is it?
Was it last year or last year?
Which one? Nationals or?
Yeah, I think it was Nationals. I was with you.
Really?
Was it against Velvin, the first one?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
first one.
at that point
2 years ago.
At that point of time, I thought Velvin was quite a good boxer.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Yeah, but then you kind of destroyed him.
Nah, it was...
Which he did, right? I think in that fight, he pretty much.
I think the first fight. I think
The first fight was closer than the second,
one,
actually.
The one at Farrer Park, that one was tough.
That one, yeah. Actually, the first one was closer than the second one.
That one he was still with us. We were training like hell for that fight.
Yeah. But in my point of
It's
view,
tough, man.
in my point of view, because I see Velvin train, I was thinking like, it's gonna be tough to beat Velvin. But then like, I think even you said, wait till you see his opponent.
But it wasn't I wouldn't say it was a walk in the park for him. It was
wasn't-
really a good fight.
I didn't
But
destroy him.
The
but
second fight then was,
because the second fight I just came back from Pattaya. I was training with Michael, the Filipino, So but first fight was tough. You know, he's a young boy, but
I always see a bit of Jia Wei in him. I always see a bit of Jia Wei in him.
What, same hairstyle? Almost what?
Maybe.
No, okay.
Only the hair, huh?
My point is, when I saw you fight and you gave him trouble and you eventually defeated him, I was like, okay, this guy's got something. So I think that might go two ways if you don't turn pro, but this is just me, right? As someone who likes to watch local boxes, some local boxes, not all.
Correct. I would say you're a liar.
But now I need to ask from a pro's perspective, Ridhwan, who has won a few belts and cannot win his fourth bronze in the SEA Games anymore.
No need to angkat me. Okay.
What do you? Also a TV star now. Do you see him turning pro, and how do you think he will do turning pro?
I think he eventually will when he wants to. I think he's the kind of guy, he does things when he wants to. Like he doesn't let situations force him to do certain thing. Like how he left amateur boxing, not because amateur boxing made him leave. So there's a difference. So now I think he wants to spend time with his family, and that's what he's gonna do. And I think he's very close to his grandfather now. Always posting very epic photos, videos on social media. It's quite entertaining to watch them. Like, wow, what are you doing going down the road lah, drinking coffee lah, having eggs, toast. I think that's what's
gambling.
Yeah, I think that's what's important.
getting like 2 blackjacks in a row doing.
I think that's what's important to him right now. And I think I'm glad that he's doing it. So it's a win really.
Okay. If you've been down this road before where you don't know whether you want to continue or not, but you eventually turn pro, right? What kind of advice would you give him in terms of decision making? What's important to decide?
I think I would say to him or anyone else, maybe in his position, to do it because you want to. Because you just do it because everybody else is doing it. You will get jealous easily. Ooh. You will stray away from the path. Ooh. You will be not motivated for the right reasons. So you have to do it not because of fame. Obviously there will be a little bit of fame, money, not so much.
TV shows.
Yeah, TV shows maybe. But I think you have to do it because you want to do it, not because somebody is influencing you to do it. Because he definitely have got all the potential in the world, and I know I've trained with him, I've sparred with him, I fought him. He's got the tools. It's just a matter of whether you want to or not. Because some people, they're just not meant for the pro game. Because when they go, then they get destroyed, then they're done. Some do better in the pro game. So I think he's one of those who can do better in the pro game. He's got Arvin also. Arvin's quite a knowledgeable coach in the business. He's a promoter, so getting fight opportunities wouldn't be too much of a hindrance. I think the road is there. It's just a matter of whether he wants to go. The green light is turned on so many times. It's just a matter of driving forward.
Yeah, and I've never said I'm not turning professional. I'm just taking a break. I might not. Nobody knows. Yeah, it's only been like what 4 months, less than 4 months.
4 months only, yeah.
3.5 months since I took a break. Since December was the SEA Games. And everybody's asking me the same question.
Yeah, I think 1 year is fair enough because you've given like your life since you're 14 to this sport. So I think 1 year is enough to like chill and relax and everything. Because I didn't have the privilege to have 1 year to.
Because you're old, bro.
No, not really. Because I just didn't want to stop. And that was my decision. I paid the price for it. greatness comes with a cost. Not great lah.
Greatness, all this
Yeah,
guy.
but it comes with a cost. It comes with a cost.
I mean, Wan's tenacity and his willpower is just unimaginable.
I'm crazy
He's
I'm
crazy,
different.
yes.
But
We've
I
heard him
lost
so
a lot.
many
But I
times.
lost a lot of things outside of the ring. Some things I cannot get back. So some things I have to pay for it lah.
Exactly.
Like your hair color.
I'm jealous bro. I know you already balding but in the middle somehow. That's the worst case.
Alright. Okay. So I think overall, what we've come to conclude, what I've come to conclude is that Jia Wei is somebody who does stuff on his own terms, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably gonna be your own term when you turn pro or not. But do know that the Wan Man Show will be here supporting you, just like
Thank
we do
you.
to all local boxers.
Yeah. If some of you are asking why we don't get certain boxers here, it's not that we don't invite them, it's because they don't want to be here. Just to
Not
be clear.
everybody wants to be with
The
me
best.
and one. So not everybody can roll with us. So sorry.
So, one day when he goes pro, I got a feeling he would.
Well, I hope so too, and I hope
Yeah.
to watch it.
Right.
At least
we will see.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll see. Then he'll
Yeah.
be back here to promote his first fight.
But
No.
just to annoy him and just to live up to my title of being the biggest shit stirrer in this business right now, I'm not gonna let him end this show on his own terms because I'll end it on my terms. So, Chawi, thanks for coming.
Thank you. for
Brilliant having
me.
you here. Do you want to thank some of the sponsors that has helped you out over the years?
Right. Just right here.
Some MLM.
I only have
Vermilion jelly.
one sponsor for now. This point of time, Vermilion Jelly. You know, they recently came up with their own hand sanitizer. So basically, they are TCM, locally found TCM company, supplement company. So they come up with TCM products, supplements like jelly. They have hand sanitizers and just other various products that you can check it out on Instagram, Vermilion Jelly, and as well as on their website. So take a look, and thank you guys for always being there for me.
Nice.
Yeah, and he also does freelance boxing coaching. So if when you train with him, you learn real proper boxing skills, and also support him financially so he can support his family, can support himself. So you can find him also. He's one of the legit guys to learn from in the scene. I know there are a lot of coaches. They say they've been
I'm honored.
coaches for a lot of years. But
Honored. Thank
it's
you
not-
for that.
He's really showering you with praise today. Toughest
man.
local fight.
Thank you.
One of the most legit
Is it
coach.
actually? Then tomorrow I can talk shit also. I'm like that what?
So where can people find you on Instagram, on Facebook or whatever?
You can find me on TJW. My IG handles TJW_box. I have a second account. It's actually a fitness account for me to share my fitness knowledge as well as my nutritional knowledge. So I do like different nutritional diets. Like I do write-ups on them, you know, the keto diet, intermittent fasting, detailed write-ups. So if you guys are interested, you can go check it out. TJW_fit. Just hit me up, slide into my DMs.
Slide into my DMs.
He wants you to slide into his
Yeah.
DMs. We'll put everything down in the link below. Now is a really good time for everybody who works from home like me. Now is really a good time to actually start following all these fitness regimes or some workouts and stuff like that, because there's nothing else to do. You can't go out for lunch. You don't go out for lunch. If you're a hard working worker like me, you don't go out for lunch. You just take naps in between.
Yeah, and then you had like duck laksa.
Wait, that was like a few months ago. Forgive me. That was just me for hibernation. All right, we're doing shout outs. One, your turn. Go.
Okay, follow me on Instagram, tcw.legends. I do personal coaching also. $50 for 45 minutes. There will be no crowd in the gym. Or if you want me to come to you, not to your house, it sounds a bit weird. Come to your...
You don't like me?
That's what those kind of videos start like. He's laughing, so he knows.
Of course he knows.
Yeah, so just hit it up. Legends Fight Sport. We are still operating for now. We're just trying to observe the safety measures like temperature taking. We wipe the bags almost like every 30 minutes. Yep, and that's all.
So you are.
Anyway, also my fight has been postponed or cancelled. I don't know. My fight in June has been postponed or cancelled. So I'm just taking it easy for now. Hopefully it doesn't take another year.
He's gonna get fat. Okay, so as per usual, follow us, The One Man Show, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. Every click and every listen helps us. It actually, we're not getting anything from this. We're just getting motivation. We just want to unite the community, the fight community in general, and we would like to thank you guys. We've reached over 1,000 listeners, which is a great achievement for us, and we're gonna continue this as long as we can until eventually
he dies.
either one of us dies or Adib dies, or I don't think we'll run out of gas. But until if we ever are in a situation where we have a lockdown, we will actually try to do it remotely somewhere.
Yeah, somehow.
But again, before we end off, it's very important that I want to thank again everybody that is all the healthcare workers, all the cleaners, or whoever you are who is involved in trying to contain this COVID-19 virus that is going around. Thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you do for us to keep us safe. And hopefully when all this is over, we can invite one of you to the show and we can talk about this candidly. Also, everybody else who's out there, if you do not have a good reason to go out, please do not go out.
Yeah, just stay home.
Listen to Jia Wei. Spend time with your family. Ridhwan doesn't have a family, so he has to sleep in the gym.
Yeah.
He's a TV star now, but he still sleeps in the gym.
If you know my signature, please stay away. Put the paper, go away. Then I'll
Stay
sign.
home, follow us, listen to our podcast, watch Jia Wei's videos on his Instagram, or watch Ridhwan's TV show, which he is
Every Wednesday, Saga 2, 9:30 p.m. on Surya.
and also on Toggle.
Fantasy.
Also on Toggle apparently.
Toggle doesn't exist anymore. It's now called Me Watch.
Okay, I don't care. They don't sponsor the show unless they want to sponsor the show. You see, our table is kind of empty.
It's not even a table. It's just a freaking chair. You
Kind
get
of feel
from home.
different without the black couch, man.
Yeah, we need
Couch
to
is
get
like
him back once the couch is out.
Trademark of the One Man Show.
Exactly. The casting couch will
Casting
return
couch.
one day once all this is over. But until then, everybody, wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
If you like to
And
talk a lot of crap, please drink this sanitizer.
that's what Ridhwan does on a daily basis. Thank you again, Jia Wei, for coming.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
We
Thank
truly
you.
appreciate it. And
Pleasure.
I hope you turn pro one day.
Yep, and we don't fight.
All right, that's it from the One Man Show. We're out.
Peace.
Like your hair color.
I'm jealous, bro. I know you're already balding, but in the middle some more. That's the worst case.